Hardcores out there, how are you doing? Russ here from Poker's Corner, the biggest gob in sport. Today we're joined by Ryan. How are you doing, Ryan?
I'm very good, my mate. How are you keeping?
I'm all right.
You're overwhelmed, aren't you, that your man Wardley's now world champion?
Yeah.
I think last time we spoke, I said he'd get pinged by Parker as well. The only thing that Parker's been pinging is a bag of whiff. Jesus.
What do you think about all that with Parker, Ryan? Let's get my coat off.
I mean, could you imagine doing that? I don't see how he's done that. I mean, obviously, you don't get there without you doing it. You know, I failed for it myself, but he has done it. Let's have it right. But he's an idiot because I couldn't think of anything worse than racking a stripe up and going and fighting a monster like Wardley.
Racking a what?
Racking a stripe
A
and then going and
stripe? Is that
fighting
what you
a
might call it? A stripe? I thought you called it beak.
what, beak, stripe, boom, swag, you name it, mate.
Well, when I heard, I thought, well, they'll not admit that. They never do, don't they? You had Super Bean, Adam Smith coming out. So I kind of like late one myself last night, but Super Bean come out saying, "Oh no, that's someone like Joseph Parker. He wouldn't do it," and all that. They said that about Lucas Brown. He's such a nice guy, and blah de blah. And Brown ended up testing with it 2 or 3 times and funny. And now Parker on
Yeah.
sniff. But if you could look at his record, he's been locked up and questioned over all sorts of things to do with gear, hasn't he? And
Meth, it was, wasn't it? To
meth
be
on it, meth.
precise.
So
Yeah, yeah. Apparently, he's like the head of something in is it New Zealand, isn't it? Yeah, head of something in New Zealand with it all, mate. So he's not holier than now.
some tribe.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Uh, what did you make of Wardley Parker fight? Because we had a chat for a bit, have we, Ryan? What do you
You know
make of
what,
it
mate?
all?
I thought they both made a good account of themselves. I think Wardley has improved immensely because his jab looked great. His combinations look good. I had criticisms that he can't punch on the move. He was punching on the move. I thought both of them turned up correct.
Yeah.
Parker, he just likes to ship a few punches, doesn't he? I mean, Zhang cracked him a few times and put him on his backside. You can't afford to do that with Wardley. You know, he's not just a dynamite puncher, he's a superb athlete. So, but I thought they both made a good account of themselves, mate. From Frank, what did you think?
Well, didn't Dylan White have him down on floor?
Mm-hmm.
So all this about this solid chin and he's a tough guy and all this, it was rubbish. I think they matched him very carefully. They had a couple of donkeys, didn't they? Donkey derby jobs. And then they put him
Yeah,
in with that Manchester kid, Jack Massey, I like, but he's a cruiserweight technically. One, and he gave him all he could for 10 rounds, didn't he?
yeah, he did.
And Bacoli were 22 stone. Wilder and Zeng were old men. And I think that I were looking at it and I said to my sponsor, Scott Brunt from Spartan Demolition, he said, "What do you think? I'm going to put a fat one on Fabio Wardley." I said, "Obviously, we all get things wrong at some we don't predict every fight. But I said, get it on Wardley because I think Parker CB, when you look at it, they all keep going, go to Andy Lee and all that nonsense. But
Mm-hmm.
the more I looked at it, I thought, nah, he's been carefully matched. And then if he gets it, he goes over. And Fabio Wardley, if you're going out, you and I just fancied Wardley. And, Wardley's WBO world champion now. I know it's via email, and we don't like that, us hardcores, do we, technically? But,
No,
he's there on merit, isn't he, really? Devar had
definitely.
one from email, didn't he?
Yeah, no, he is. He deserves it, mate. He's banged through everyone he's meant to.
Yeah.
And again, he turns up in good fashion, mate, every single time. You're never bored watching Fabio Wardley, are you?
No, I think it's
So
exciting, me.
uh,
It's what they're going to do with that belt now. What do you see happening?
I watched that last night that you put out there. Um, I don't know. I want to know who he's going to fight because he ain't going to fight Fury. He ain't going to fight Joshua. Those fights can't be made, can they, realistically?
No.
But who would you put him in with?
Well, when I look at Wardley now, They were all saying, Atoma wants Usyk and all that. They're not calling Wardley out, are they?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go WBA route, and Sue Poole left them, wanted to fight a guy 45 in May.
Mm-hmm.
Another Crusher Ben job. Let's knock over all these old men.
Yeah.
You know,
It is.
so I looked at it.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see who will fight first. I reckon Hergovic might get an opportunity.
Yeah.
Mm, I think they'll put Hergovic in there. Or, yeah, that's the only person who I can think off the top of my head that is available, ranked in the top 10. Because I can't see Wardley being someone who will fight idiots. He ain't going to fight Chisora.
Now, Derek Chisora's already priced himself out of an Atoma fight, but why are they all shitting the pants over a man that's done 26 rounds? I can't get my head around it, me. I can't get my head around it.
They know they're going to get blasted out. Simple as that, innit? They know that he'll blast him.
Well, I look at it like this. Atoma will call an Usyk out,
Mm-hmm.
Joshua and all that. Well, the easy one to make, and if the boot ran the other foot, this is what Bricktop would be saying. The easy one to make is Atoma against Wardley, or Atoma Fury, or Atoma John Coffey, because
Mm.
they're all Bricktop fighters, in-house fight. Why not? Because if they were
Yeah.
Eddie's fighters, Bricktop would be saying, well, that's an easy one to make. They're from the same stable. So practice what you preach, Bricktop. Put some of your guys in together, but they all don't want to go near that Fabio Wardley because it could be lights out, couldn't it? And can they stay on point for 36 minutes?
That's the thing as well. Like, I don't know what it is with Wilder, but his fundamentals never improved. Wardley seemed to improve every single time. I mean, I thought Nathan Gorman would beat him purely down to fundamentals.
Yeah.
And I thought Adelaide would beat him again because of fundamentals. And he negates that with athleticism. But again, fundamentally, he's made massive improvements, mate. I was completely shocked. I was really, really, really shocked by the Parker fight, mate. And I don't see, other than Usyk, I don't see anyone that can beat him, mate. At the moment, I don't know.
No,
If,
Wardley.
yeah, who can beat Wardley at the moment?
Well, it's Big Freeze give him his hardest fight, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Then he got iced out.
What
Then he got
about a Big
shoveled out.
Freeze trilogy?
Ben Shalom's not got the money for it, but we'll see. We'll
Well, they're
see.
going to have to put him in with somebody now, aren't they?
Well, that TKB stuff went. I mean, what's going on with that? Have you heard anything
No.
for the British title? Wasn't it?
What about Dylan White? Getting him a quick win and throwing him in with Wardley and
Well, he
creating a
managed
bit
it.
of. I know his managers him, but creating a bit of fake beef, saying, "Oh, they fell out and all that nonsense." What do you think that they could do with that? I mean, Oak's possible with
Hey,
a shower of shit, isn't it?
I know. You know what? As well, it'd be funny that. Imagine White clipped him. Dillian White, new heavyweight champion of the world,
Oh
6 months
God, that'd
after
be.
getting shipped in around by Atoma.
Hey, do you know what? If Dylan White beat Wardley, his fake brother Dean White, I'd have to change his name from Dean Wardley back to Dean White.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely,
But
mate.
okay, Big John Fury's piped up. Big Joe Egan's replying. What do you make of it all?
I think it's 260-year-old men who could probably do with just calming down a little bit. Surely they've got kids and grandkids they can be looking after, and the kids and grandkids don't want to see granddads wearing a pair of porno shorts and getting in the ring.
Do you know
I
how
don't
I
want to
look
see
at it,
it.
right? Do you know how I look at it, Ryan?
Mm-hmm.
It was a bit like when I was running around with Michael Theo. If they'd have both wanted, they could have just, because they both got a few quid, they could have both just got on phone and got them met and got at it in the car park. Get your coats off and get at it and dealt
Yeah.
with it that way, couldn't they, really? So when Big John's revving up like that, he's got to understand that when you're doing that, you're putting yourself in a position where come on, we've heard this all out. He's been out of jail 11 years, hasn't he? Nearly 11 years. He
Yeah.
ain't had a fight yet. He's slapped Asif Valley and Usyk, and he's stuck nut on Usyk's cutman who were about 20-year old and split his head up and his own head. So
Hmm.
it's just for clicks and views and blah de blah and trying to get himself out there. He's like a bull in a china shop, isn't he? But did you see the
Yeah.
video where he said he wants to go to Canada and Tommy will take 15 million to fight
Yeah.
Jake Paul?
Yeah. Of course, you'll take 15 million to fight Jake Paul. It's an easy fight, isn't it? You've already beat him easily once before, but well, it's all a load of nonsense, in it, mate. It's just sad that that's what boxing is these days. Shite.
Do you feel that boxing at the moment took like a, especially with Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul, right? Do you feel that it's took like a real bad turning now, and that there's no going back now because it's the horse has bolted kind of thing with these influencer fights and stuff? Do you think?
But yeah, it interrupts how boxing should be. If you create a bit of a presence for yourself on social media, you can propel yourself from being below area level like Tommy Fury is to earning millions fighting Jake Paul or KSI. Which I don't say this from any bad place. Great, go and make your money, but it tarnishes like levels, not just to boxing, but in any realm or undertaking of sport. There are levels to things, and you have to work hard to get through the levels to earn the kind of compensation that level is bestowed. And they're sort of hopping that, and it just makes things all a little bit topsy turvy, in my opinion. But fair fucks to them. I'm going to do the thing, mate.
Yeah. Uh, Rhino, obviously, he's got his show on it tomorrow at Donny Dome. He's talking about it's his show, and I don't even think it's in his name. I mean, how daft is he, man? Talking like that, saying I'm promoting a show, but he ain't got a promoter's license unless he's got one this week. I don't know, but Rhino, he's having a go, so I give him respect. But what level would you say he's at as a fighter, and what level would you say he's at as a pundit?
I think punditry wise, I don't mind him. He's
Yeah.
kind of got I don't want to sound too rude there, but his voice is pretty shy. And I know he's got a Doncaster accent like yourself, mate, but you've got a bit of charisma. He's not a particularly charismatic person, outside of the acts of Daft Dave, if you will. That's with the
Wore a
greatest
bit
of
thin
respect.
that daft day back now, hasn't it?
Immensely, yeah. Boxing wise, I think, and it's a fantastic achievement. I think he's area level, which is brilliant. He's never won an area belt. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So I can't really rate him above that. He got beat and quit against Fraser Clark, who hasn't won a British title. So we'd say Fraser at the moment on the balance of plays English Commonwealth level, which again is phenomenal.
Mm.
So I'd have to rank Dave Allen below that. And when you're 12-0'd by Makhmedov, I'm going to struggle to sort of propel you above area level, English level. Because he
What do you
got
make of
beat
that
by,
fight, Ryan?
again, Dave Allen is, one of the hardest men in the world, hands down. I do not know how he takes the punishment that he does and keeps going forward. But again, we alluded to levels and the exposure of social media and what it can do to propel one for not just financial rewarding, but get you in serious trouble.
Mm.
You can't take hidings like that without repercussions down the line.
Yeah.
David Allen should never be in the ring with someone of that ilk. What they did with putting him in with Ortiz, Price, some of these guys, it's not on. You can't go from Johnny Fisher to Makhmedov. But again, he's gaining popularity on social media. It's this big, hard-looking Russian. No, he's just beat an area level guy. Let's put him in with someone who's English level. Let's see if he's there.
Do you think
So what are yours?
that him and Elmer will have a trilogy, Elmer Fudd?
You've been calling that for a while
Well, they've
from the
got
first
contract
fight.
signed still, haven't they?
Yeah, that'll be there, mate. That'll be there. Give Elmer maybe 2 fights, and Dave Allen will probably win his next fight. He'll lose the one after, and that's when they'll make the Fisher trilogy, in my opinion.
Yeah, is that what you think? Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. And Dave Allen batters him again, mate, because he's a natural athlete, isn't he, Dave Allen? And again, I don't say it derogatory that I believe he's area level. Area level's phenomenal. It's brilliant. But he's just never proved that he's anything above that. But in terms of what his natural capabilities are, you told me once that doesn't he hold the record in Doncaster for 100-meter flat?
Hayfield Comprehensive, yeah, in Doncaster,
So
yeah.
he's a phenomenal. He's a great athlete then naturally.
11
Uh,
seconds, apparently.
is incredulous given his dimensions as well, because he's a thick built guy, isn't he? But yeah, no, he'll spark Johnny Fisher whenever he wants, really. Yeah, he'll spark him whenever he wants, but I do think that fight will be made, yeah, probably over the next 6 to 12.
What would you do if you were Elmer Fudd's advisor? Whoever's advising him, he's got all these advisors. Where would you put him now, Elman? Because he's in no man's land, really. Anyway, I've got an idea, but I'm gonna ask you what would you do? Put your matchmaker's hat on, and how would you plot a route for Big Elmer?
Johnny Fisher versus former world title challenger, conqueror of Mike Tyson, former 2-time or 3-time British heavyweight champion, Danny Williams.
Well, obviously they're not going to do that. This is what I
No,
do with
I
Big
was
Elmer.
joking. I was joking. Go on.
Well, Big Elmer's 1-on-1 with Rhino, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now you've got to put Big Elmer now in a fight where they say he'll get beat. So if he's not a favourite and he loses, he had a go. His credibility is still okay. His stock will rise a little bit depending on how he performs. Why not put
Hmm.
him in with Makhmedov? Eddie's got a deal with Makhmedov because he beat Rhino. They're not going to put
Yeah.
him in with Big Meech, Joshua. So put Big Elmer in with Makhmedov and let's see how he does. Because if he manages to squeak a win, then they can sell the Rhino fight, can't they? The trilogy. And so, well, he beat the guy that Rhino beat because just A beats B don't mean B beats C and all that kind of thing. Don't you know, like
That's a shout,
Joe, like
Yeah.
Joe, like Joe Fraser, Foreman Ali, something like that kind of thing. I'm not that they're in that level, but different styles make fights. But I looking at it from me, they're gonna have to put him in with somebody where they can still keep him his stock all right and still sell tickets. Stick him in with Makhmedov. He beat Rhino comfortably. So if he puts a great performance on, a better one than Rhino, or squeaks a draw or a split decision or a mandatory decision, then he's rocking and rolling. They might swerve Rhino and go off, but they've got to roll and go off on a different route. But they've got to roll the dice with him now because he's their ticket seller, isn't he? Do you see where I'm
Hmm.
coming from?
Yeah, it's a good call as well, in fairness, Russell. What Fisher would do that would be different, he would stick his jab in Makhmedov's face. There were not too dissimilar a height discrepancy there. And he would throw punches, Fisher. And I think what's shown with Makhmedov, if you can apply a little bit of pressure back, he folds. And fair play to Fisher, he didn't fold against Dave Allen when a lot of people could have done in that first fight specifically. So that's interesting. Yeah, I never thought of that, mate. It's a good shout.
Do you think
Sam Jones,
that?
watch your job.
Yeah. Do you think that Big Elmer comes over as a bit of a big stiff and a bit dim kind of thing? He's like a programmed cyborg, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? Kind of. What do you think? You know how he does his interviews, and he's my friend, and I like him, and he's a good biker. He's a bit like that, isn't he? Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, he's obviously a fairly intellectual guy, given his accomplishments academically.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all like wanting to be everyone's friend, and we've said this before. When you're in a business where your objective is to punch someone else's head in,
Yeah. Hmm.
put it on them.
Okay. And obviously the dad in tow. They beat Babic, and they thought they were gonna, go on a run like Larry Holmes, didn't they? Really? Do you think?
Mhm. Yeah, Babbitt's what, 5'9".
Yeah.
He's yeah. You can't beat Alan Babick and then go into Dave Allen. Silly, very stupid.
Okay. I don't really know where to start with this one. Conor Benn, aka Crusher, Chris Eubank Jr. What did you
Hmm.
make of it all? Now it looks like it's put to bed. Surely they're not going to do a third, but you won't put it past them, would you? But what do you make of it all that now? Now it's all over, Ryan.
Um, I said to one of my friends when Conor Ben was coming out that he's a fantastic athlete, and maybe about 18 months ago on your show, I said that with a fighter like Chris Eubank, it's how long his athleticism will allow him to go for, because fundamentally he's never learned much, and Conor Ben's just a better athlete. Simple as that. When you get to 36, 37, I'm not that age, but 34, so I noticed myself slowing down, and you can't do the same things that I could do when I was 24. It's the simple. Everyone's the same, and it is just that simple. Conor Ben is maybe a, we can't really say he's English level, but let's say he's an English level welterweight versus a British level middleweight who shot to bits,
Mm.
and he didn't get him out of there. He couldn't get him out of there. 12th round, and he put him on his back. Should have been out of there with him a round or two, you know. So it was poor fight though, mate. Boring, really boring.
What next for Crusher Ben, and what next for Eubank, Ryan?
Personally, for Conor Ben, I would say a good fight for him to take would be against Echo Esserman, um, or failing that, Conor Walker, McCormack, Liam Taylor. I know he didn't look good against Conor Walker, but I'd say Liam Taylor would beat Conor Ben. Um, yeah, that's where he should be going. I don't know how Conor Ben would be granted a fight against Mario Barrios or Rolly Romero. I mean, these aren't really good fighters, but they're world champions who've been through the rigmarole. Rolly's got a few. He's still been in there with Tank Davis and Isaac Cruz and a few other good people. Barrios has been in there with Keith Thurman, again, Tank Davis, Pacquiao. Who's Conor Ben for?
Well,
Who?
they're
Who?
gonna. I think they're gonna put Crusher in with like another gimmick fight, like Eubank. Like a Manny Pacquiao or a Kell Brook or a Liam Smith, somebody
Yeah,
like that. I don't really at 154 or even maybe 160. I don't for 160 for like Kell Brook or Liam Smith, but Pacquiao would probably be 154 or something or 147. But I don't see him wanting to put him in with Boots Ennis or Jack Catterall or anybody like
no.
that. And the Kuzman's not a big fight 'cause he's not a big name, is he? Although it'd be a good yardstick at welterweight for him.
Hmm.
But I think Conor Ben will want to keep earning them paydays, but he's just had his last two paydays. And I don't think he's going to get that against the Kuzman, is he? But he would Pacquiao, he would Kell Brook, and I don't think he would against Liam Smith. So, but
No,
I don't know. You couldn't see him fighting Hamzat Shiraz at 160, could you?
no. He'd get poleaxed in a round, but
Mm.
yeah, I mean, I understand the narrative there, and but this is what's bad. Well, this is where again the social media presence and backing can sort of disfigure rankings, levels, and going through them in the right way.
Yeah.
When Conor Ben, and he will have to face someone who's good at some point. When he does, he'll be flatlined, and he'll be flatlined within 1 or 2 rounds. The punches come at the same speed. His patterns of entry are all the same. Nothing changes. It's just he's very athletic.
Mm.
Which again, if you're fighting someone whose athleticism's gone, it looks great. But when you're against an elite fighter or a very good one, he will be good for a round. He'll be timed. He'll be countered, and he'll be knocked clean out. Um, I would love it if it was Beefy Smith that done that as well.
Beefy Smith, what after his performance against Aaron McKenna, he shouldn't even be on anybody's lips at the moment. But they're throwing his name around on social media this morning into the mix. Do you know what I mean? But it'd just be Liam Smith saying, "Yeah, I got the camp wrong this time. We're stronger, faster, quicker than a speeding bullet." All that same rubbish, best camp ever, and all that. It'd just be misleading fans. But I think Liam Smith's misled fans in a few fights now, and
Mm.
I think he should retire really, like his brother Smiggers Titties, aka Jim Royal. Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean? Not that I'm not against them. Ladies and gentlemen, the Smiths, the Beatles, the boxing. I'm not against any of them, but I have a problem when we have fighters going on social media saying they've had best camp ever, they're in great shape and all that. We heard it from Rhino, didn't we? He was only £6 lighter than his first fight with Fisher, so you know he's hardly in superhuman shape. £6, you can knock that off in 12 hours, can't you? As an heavyweight,
yeah,
you see where I'm coming from. So I don't want to listen. I don't want to listen to rubbish. We heard it all from Eubank Junior. Gonna do this, gonna do that. They were gonna have
yeah,
tear ups and all that. He got in ring like a fucking corpse, you know, and I spunk
yeah.
my 25 quid. So, you know, I don't agree with it, mate. I don't agree with it and taking piss out fans. So, no. And how many times now are we going to see Eddie Hills pull wool over our eyes with pay per views? We had it with Bellew cleverly. They were going to do wonders. They did not. David A and Bellew twice. Do you know what I mean? Bellew were going to smash up Usyk. Look, it's one lie after another from these people. How many fights were Joshua in? And oh, it's touch and go. This were all pay per views, and they were spoon feeding Joshua for years.
Yeah.
Spoon feeding him, mate. And you know it's become a tired old boring story now, and we're all fed up of it, aren't we? I am personally.
Yeah, completely agree, mate. When there's people who don't know boxing properly and they're talking to you about, oh, it was a good fight, that. Well, they want to fight. You know, that wasn't a boxing match. That was two British level at very, very best guys. One of them was done. They want to fight. But these people who are casuals, if you will, they're
Yeah,
sold that by Eddie Hearn. He's brilliant, fantastic at what he does. But it's boring now. Boring. Same
yeah.
regurgitated nonsense. Um, yeah, it's boring, mate.
What did you think to Super Bean's performance on the night?
But it's the same thing from him, innit, mate? It's the same lines, the same spiel, the same tonality, the same tone when certain things happen as well within an event. He, hold a pony, mate. And again, I've said this to you before. I assumed that the zone was this innovative thing that, you know, it's all new, it's fresh. Why go and get Adam Smith back if you don't mind me asking? He doesn't strike me as particularly new, young, or innovative. It's the same shit we've been hearing off him for 30 years. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Hmm. I mean, I've heard him today. He's going on about Joshua Jake Paul, and he's saying what's Joshua got left, and Jake Paul's on the rise and stuff. He's just going into full PR mode for the promoters, isn't he? Really, you know, and it's sad to see. Really, I hope he don't get a gig
What
at Netflix. I hope he's not on Netflix as a commentator.
mm,
Do you know what I mean?
what
But you know
rises
what?
Jake Paul on?
Hey,
What rises Jake Paul on?
I don't know. I'm assuming he means the rise in the sport. He's not on the rise in any fights because Tommy Fury bashed him up, didn't he?
Hmm. Tommy Fury's not the best boxer in Stockport. Never mind anywhere else. So
So we
Adam,
go to
Journey
part two, mate.
Tuesday. Go on, my mate. I'll jump
Go on then,
over.
mate. I'll see you. Do you
Come
want to
on.
make it 5 minutes? Yeah.
Yeah, go on, my mate.
See you on
Speak
part.
to
See
you in
you
a
in
sec.
five
Bye, bye, bye.
minutes. All right. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. This is Ryan, Manchester lad. Nice kid. So I hope you're enjoying the video. Backed by popular demand. Not a lot I can do when I keep losing my phone, is there? So, all my numbers. Oh, it's a night disaster, isn't it, when you lose your phone? So, okay, we'll go on to part two. I'm just gonna go drain the main vein. One piece out. Hope you well.